you say we're just friends when nobody's around? I chose the last line, you know, right?
Nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better.
Look, you say
Quite how I thought I sounded.
like a goddamn angel. Don't worry about it. No, I actually had an ex-girlfriend saying she wants to sing on camera. Not on camera. She just like wanted to record us two singing together. And I listen. I don't have the confidence to do that now. I'm never doing that. There's no. Well,
wait. She wanted who to sing on camera?
Like not on camera, just to record both of us singing.
Yeah.
And you know me. I'm a goofball off camera. I'm not doing it on camera. But anyway,
it would be quite interesting. I'd like to know if I really gave it everything, could I actually sing? Probably not, but.
How much time are you giving yourself? Like actually trying it for a little bit, like practicing and stuff?
Yeah, maybe. Well, Ed Sheeran said that anyone can sing. Yeah? But I think he's just being humble.
No, I think you give yourself enough time, you'll figure out. What are we always saying on this podcast? You can do anything.
That's it. But I think singing is quite tough.
It is quite hard.
Yeah, on the things of...
That's why enough time. You've got to give yourself enough time.
That's true.
Can you sing, Ram? No? Okay, cool.
You've got time.
You are young. Sorry for the gap in audio. I've stopped recording accidentally for like 3 seconds. You're fine. Cool. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Hi there. Welcome to Director's Debrief, episode 33. Every time I say the next number, I'm like, we've committed for so long now.
Again, full credit to you. Full credit to Ram. Superb.
I'll pass on my credit to Ram. Dude did well. We actually, we say we've committed for a while. We actually have to start watching our mouth, Ash, because it turns out people actually watch what we. I honestly thought it was just a couple friends here and there, and the views are starting to creep up very slowly, but they are creeping up.
Yep.
And very real human beings are watching this. Yep. One of said very real human being, in the last episode, I completely butchered his name, and I kind of feel bad, but he left a comment yesterday.
Yeah.
And it is the one and only Daniel Murray Serta. I made sure I got it right. I actually rehearsed a little bit. Of Heights.
Yes.
We reviewed Heights, and he left a comment.
I actually had to listen to our episode back because I don't remember what we said.
No, me neither. It was all honest, but it was honest in the moment.
It was quite thorough. We went very into the experience.
But there's a few quite interesting things to talk about here. Somebody else actually left a comment. This is the second comment we had on that video. And somebody made a claim, and then Daniel's kind of replied to this. So some guy on YouTube claims 60% of their RRP goes for ingredients. The rest covers, profit margins, distribution, or whatever. He reckons they're working on a margin of about 20%. Right? Now that's interesting for a Ram clip. Is it not? Okay. Well, it's right in front of me. Anyway, we're getting distracted. He reckons 60% ingredients, 40% for profit margin, all that stuff. He reckons about 20% currently. But he's very smartly observed, this is the stranger, that they're working towards 35 to 40%. And that's kind of what we were saying about starting off low margins, really heavily reinvesting. And in Daniel's comment, I don't know if he prefers Dan or Daniel, but in his comment, he actually says he wishes, when we're talking about like high profit margin, he goes, oh my God, I wish. Nice try, but sadly not even close. In brackets, yet. Yep. So even he's alluding to the fact that they're going heavy at the start, building this brand, which is very, very smart. I really, really like that. He also, interestingly, comments on the clear packaging. Again, I can't remember that. I called him out. It was an observation either my sister or my mum made, but omega-3 needs to be kept in sort of shielded packaging. Yeah. And he says that's for stuff that gets distributed, sent out, put on a shelf, and with longer shelf life. But within 90 days, you're fine. And they supply you a 30-day supply, and it's D2C. They manufacture it and send it to your thing. Yeah. Which is I think in a very subtle way, he's saying this is why D2C is awesome. Yeah. And I happen to agree with that.
And he's differentiating it. No, the guy's thought about his product very well and his reply. Yeah. No, but thanks Daniel for replying.
Yeah, I echo what I said in my response. If you ever want to jump on, we'd love to have you. We'll get you down here, or we come to you. That'd be absolutely great.
That would be the way. So, what product are we reviewing today, Sam?
I didn't think that far ahead. Did you?
Well, yeah, I've got one. Okay. It's a very obvious one.
Oh, dude.
We do go through. Because we are getting the...
No.
No?
We'll review... We'll review the product, but I'm not reviewing that one.
Okay.
Not reviewing Jaffa Cake.
It's chocolate orange.
I'm not doing chocolate orange. No.
Okay, but we'll put it here just for...
Any comment I make is strictly to do with the brand.
Okay, Grenade.
I am not talking
Tell me
about
your favourite flavour.
You got me to try chocolate fudge brownie. That was great.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say you're not a real diehard.
I wasn't.
Yeah, it took you about.
I was for a while. I'm not.
Yeah, everyone should just jump cookies and cream, cookie dough.
Yeah, both of those good.
Caramel chaos.
No, they have 2 peanut ones, but like the one with peanuts in. Love me some peanuts. Yeah. But
why are they doing so well?
Did they start off with the bars? I feel like they started off with pills, like fat burner pills, which I don't like and I disagree with as a concept. But a few of my friends...
I'm pretty sure they started with the bars.
Did they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
From what I've read.
Because a friend of mine who's a fighter said after a fighter plays football, after a football match, he says, I'm going to go home and take a grenade pill. I was like, what the hell is that? And he says it's a fat burner pill. I'm huge.
Interesting.
I don't like that in the slightest, but that was 2010, 11.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's how they started and they pivoted towards more protein-based stuff.
Maybe.
I was once intimidated by the carb killer thing because, like you, I thought it was like a bar that makes you lose weight or it kills your. But in fact, that's just the way. That's kind of their wording. But it's just a glorified protein bar.
Yeah.
But it's great. It tastes good. It's moist. Yeah. It has a lot of properties.
Did you say it's moist?
Yeah, in a good way, in a food way. Come on, how old are we? And it tastes good where most don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Most protein bars simply don't hit the spot. And the great story about this is recently a couple of years or so back, or stakes were acquired by Mondelez, who own Cadbury's.
Yes.
So Cadbury's now own Grenade, and that has rapidly increased their distribution. You'll see them everywhere. You'll see them now in all your petrol stations, your kind of your grocery stores, everywhere.
Big bucks behind them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But they know it, and that's what they do. Mondelez, Coca-Cola, when they buy a brand, they know how to distribute it. When Coca-Cola bought Costa, you start seeing these Costa Express machines popping up everywhere. Yeah.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. You would have seen it happen about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on to that thought. How are we doing for charge? What percent?
46.
Cool. Off you go. No, keep it recording. Just go.
Yeah. So Coca-Cola came in.
Yeah.
So Costa here, great British brand, doing really, really well. Coca-Cola realised that Starbucks are obviously huge in America, but they didn't have that presence in the UK. Sorry, I lost my trail of thought.
That's all right.
So basically Coca-Cola realised that, saw the opportunity and said, how can we double down on that and go through? So they acquired Costa, which was very big in Europe. And took it to new heights. I mean, these Costa Express machines, that's all Coca-Cola's vending machine model method. They wanted it everywhere. You go to certain service stations where there's not Starbucks, they're there. And the idea, I don't think they've got ambition to maybe take on the US as much because Starbucks own things there. But every other country, they're really going into it.
Yeah, that is a brilliant model. And so you reckon that's going to mean big things for Jaffa Cake? Not Jaffa. Jesus Christ! I can't believe I said that. For grenade bars now that Mondelez.
I've noticed it. Yeah, because we've worked with Mondelez in the past and so on. So we knew the moment that Mondelez was starting to push these products. But maybe it's a bias where I'm noticing it more. But I just went to get a wrap from the local petrol station. Grenade bars all over. All the other protein bars are 1 or 2 shelves behind. They're being dropped down because they simply can't compete with the pressure that Mondelez are doing because they've paid a lot of money for them. Yeah. The guy who made Grenades doing pretty well. I think they want to grow as much as they can. Yeah.
Random question. If you were in the position of Grenade, would you have sold?
I don't know. There's a lot of things you need to look at. I think what they may have seen is that a company like Mondelez was going into protein bars, whatever. Yeah. Whether they were going to make dairy milk protein or their own version, they were going to create a whole new brand. They have the big bucks. Oh. Grenade managed to grow in a period where there were limited good protein bars out there. They jumped on that protein hype, and now you're seeing them pop up left, right, and centre. There's a new protein bar every other week. Yeah. And they probably noticed that and realised now's our time to to either look for maybe more investment or to realize that we need to leave this to the big boys to fight it off.
See, that's really good, because I genuinely don't think the owners of Grenade sold for financial gain. I don't think, looking at we've actually looked at their Amazon presence and looking at what they did. I don't think somebody who runs that is kind of itching for more money. I think they made a healthy amount with Grenade. I think this was genuinely a thing of like taking their brand to the next level. So that's why I sort of asked you. And I think if I was to run Grenade, I think I would quite confidently say, yeah, if Mondelez approached me, but it wouldn't be necessarily for money, right? It would be for the fact that I know what I have the capacity to do, and I know what a conglomerate like Mondelez has the capacity to do, and I want Grenade to be that name.
Sure.
I think that's why somebody like that would sell.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's exactly where it goes. And the same with Costa. It started from just... Okay, yeah, there was investment and there was people with money that came in later on, but it was just normal people that set that up. Yeah. And it's the same kind of thing where they saw that, look, we need the big boys to take this on and take it to the next level.
I love Grenade bars. I don't like the price. I'm just going to come out and say it. And the thing is, it was during a time where their price was completely appropriate, because it was really hard to find 20 plus grams of protein with that low sugar. I think we're now in a time, and there's another reason why we really like them. I don't know if you want to talk about that on camera.
Yeah.
But I really struggle to find anything more than 12, 15. And this is a really interesting thing that my brother raised to me once, where high protein was not a protected phrase. Yep. And you could call anything high protein. As long as it had protein in, you could call it high, because it's high relative to what?
Yeah, or source of protein. Yeah.
Source of protein. Exactly.
That's a joke.
Exactly, and that's the thing where I think now it's hard to find a protein bar that doesn't have. They've set the bar, and kudos to them. Really, that was really awesome what they did. They stepped up. They made everybody stop skimping on protein, but everybody started pricing them at £1 to £1.50 or so. And if you buy them in bulk, you're fine. But generally, the retailers have started selling them at £2.50. Our local sells them £2.80.
I think that is a bit of a joke, but they realise that consumer surplus. Yeah. From the point that they originally probably priced them up, let's hypothetically say £1.50, and they saw that consumer surplus of, hold on a second, customers are still willing to pay. And that's what these big brands do so well in their pricing model. They know where to hit it and what gets products right in terms of volume. Like, okay, if we price at this point, we will shift this much volume. What helps our bottom line overall? Do we just want volume because that will help our overall market share? Yeah. Or do we want more profitability in the shorter term? But yeah, they get it right time and time again as they go through. But yeah, thank you, Grenade.
Thank you, Grenade. Yeah. I hope the owners don't watch that. No. Yeah. You raise a really, really interesting point here of volume versus smaller volume, high profit margins, higher volumes, smaller. No, what did I say? A lot of volume, low profit margin. Yeah. Small volume, large profit margin. Yeah. I recall a conversation with you, a very interesting conversation about what's your preference in that, right? Because there's pros and cons to both. But if this business was to shut down and you were to start another business, what would you go for? Like, you can kind of set your targets. Would you go for something that is high volume but low profit margin, or the other way around?
It really does vary. So if we're just talking products, or are we talking service-based? Because that's the difference as well. Yeah, because I was going to say, we're service-based, we're actually quite... Yeah, we aim for high quality clients. So we're very much that. But I think even in service, we want volume. And hear me out here, because let's take this. We could each have our own freelancing business, have 3 clients each, and do fairly well for a period of time, right? You can earn a decent amount. Our overheads are very limited. Yeah. We could be offering them services also, whatnot. But the services that we'll be able to offer them would be very minimal. Our churn rate could possibly be quite high because our services are very minimal and replaceable. And we put a lot of focus on just a few clients each, right? Like your 3 clients, if one of them dropped you tomorrow, oh my word, that could be a serious part of your own income dropping down.
It's a third down.
Yeah. Exactly. Whereas when we create that over a business, and initially, yes, we have to employ account managers. We have to diversify and offer a load of services that don't quite create that same profitability for those 6 clients joined together. What we're doing is we're able to offer a variety of services, which hopefully reduces churn. It reduces an offering which stops, again, competition. And it allows us to then say, okay, we've got this account manager, we've got people in place. Now we can go for 10. Now we can go for 20. And our result for our own personal gains, but also overall as a company, are far more. And we've diversified enough where, say, hypothetically one were to decide to leave us or choose another partner or anything like that, we still manage and carry on. And that's where I see it from a service angle, because I look at these freelancers, right? You see them on Instagram and stuff. Like, I run my own influencer business, and I have Bali. Yeah, exactly. And I have 3 clients. It sounds great, and I'm like, sometimes all these overheads, all of this that we do, is it worth it, or should I just take my skills and do that? And I really went through that whole process. I was like, no, hold on a second. There is a reason why growing a business and creating a machine is far more than just having a freelance side hustle.
I'm tempted to disagree with you because, one, I know for a fact if we were to open the floodgates, run Google ads, talk about Amazon and get people in, move away from our niche of healthcare, we would be inundated with requests because Amazon is a very hot topic right now, and Amazon in general. And we always talk about the healthcare industry lagging behind, so we're actually a bit ahead of our time. But right now is the peak, I believe, for Amazon. Maybe a couple months ago, but I think we could just onboard 50 clients by the end of next week if we wanted to, if we ran the right Google ads and tried to bring people in. I think sticking to our niche and providing this high quality, I'd say we in general have done more to, and I'm going to use your word against you, to protect our moat, to become so invaluable to clients that we can't that we make it a very difficult decision to be dropped. Anybody can be dropped, of course.
Oh no, I think, to correct it, I don't think what you're saying is disagreeing with me.
Okay.
I think we're both trying to come towards that healthy in between.
I'm
not suggesting that we go for any old client or anyone who needs any little bit of help, because we've been there before where we've gone for certain kinds of clients that really, we can't offer them that service that they're requiring. They're looking for something very cheap and cheerful, but very, very heavy personal time. Whereas what we're very good at is working with an organization, processes, individual team members within there. So no, I think we both find that in between. What I'm saying is, I think we've still got a whole space to go and grow into.
No, for
sense.
Sure. Okay, so that's service based, right? Let's say you're into your fitness, right?
Product based.
Yeah, you were to create.
What's your opinion on product based?
So this is why I wanted to bring this. Sorry, not that. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because our previous conversation about this was that I expressed that if I was to set up a product based business, I would want to go incredibly exclusive. Very small range, very small group of people, like the Ferrari model, like an elite members group that you have to wait and like you can't just go in and buy. And so small amount, small volume, very high margin. Put a lot of pride and passion behind the project. That's what I would rather go for. And you said something interesting, because we have been in fast moving consumer goods we've been in like grocery in the past. We've done stuff that is very low margin, incredibly high volume. And you said, do you really think you'd be able to without the experience gained in the fast moving stuff? I just wanted to reiterate on camera, as all you, but it was a very smart observation. But I think definitely I would want to go small. Like, not small in terms of money generated or whatever. I want to go huge.
I think what you mean is more focused. Let's take it. Let's take if you were a barber. You can either do 20 cheap haircuts a day. I mean, by cheap, like a kind of lower end, quick in, quick out, kind of revolving door kind of thing. Or you could do you could operate the model of, I'm going to have these exclusive clients, I'm going to give them the absolute best, my name, my reputation, and they'll get the best service, high margin. Is that kind of what you
exactly think? And I don't think one is righter than the other, by the way. Because if one was right, if I was right and that other one was wrong, then Mondelez wouldn't exist. But the reason why I love it is because of the clients we've worked with. We've worked with clients who are very protective over their profit margins or don't necessarily have large profit margins. And we work with the other ones. And the ones that have a large profit margins don't tend to take that home. They tend to reinvest in the brand.
Yeah.
And they tend to spend a lot of money on their brand. And that's what's exciting.
Yeah.
Is being able to really hone in and really perfect something or really invest. And that's what actually start to change the games with. Take the Ferrari example. They push the boundaries of aerodynamics because they can afford the best aerodynamicists.
And they're investing in. And it's a really good point. So I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think you can definitely, even on lower margins, if the volume is there, you can afford the R&D. Yeah, but you have to make sure the volume is there and the margins are maintained. The issue with low margins is they can easily be squeezed because the cost of a raw material goes up, the cost of chocolate goes up. Mondelez's margins get really squeezed, or not chocolate, cocoa, something like that. So I have no real opinion on it. I chop and change between the two. All I will align again with what you said is that even the higher margin businesses, Gucci or Louis Vuitton, how much do they spend on brands in terms of fashion shows, reputation? It's not all on R&D, it's actually just on general marketing, which means whilst their gross margin is high, their net is actually just, I'm not saying it's just where Mondelez are, but it really does shrink through. And I've seen that in plenty of businesses where I'll be like, wow, your gross margins are really high, but the investments, the overheads, everything to make that one product go through is there. Because we live in a free market, and if someone sees that you're making heavy, easy margins, and you don't have the moat because you're still developing, they'll come in and just take some of that at a cheaper price. And everyone always wants that.
It's a good point, because if you look at Gymshark, would you consider them relatively high margin?
They used to be. I wouldn't say anymore.
No, because they were valued, over $1 billion, and all of that made the headlines. But in actual fact, when you see how, they host their own events. They're opening headquarters left, right, and centre. They've just opened their first retail shop. Not just, but they've opened their first retail shop. Yeah. And they look at expanding it every direction. I actually don't think, I think Ben Francis lives very comfortably, but I don't think that's their bottom line is as huge as everyone.
Otherwise, how many other businesses would come in, try and do what they do, and just be a little bit cheaper? And yes, there are some that have tried that, but it's not so easy. Their continuous reinvestment is what gives them that moat, gives them that brand reputation, which makes you think Alpha Elite or Gymshark. No, Gymshark, because that's the brand I know. That's the one that I see everywhere.
Why did you're somebody who's been through this though? Because did you try it, or did your brother try Alpha?
Yeah, I ordered it. I ordered it for my brother.
Yeah, and you returned it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to call that out.
Yeah, no, I did, because I saw that. I thought, maybe there is another brand out there just like Gymshark. I wanted to know the next best Gymshark. And the quality of clothing was just not there.
Really?
The product wasn't there. But the thing is, that was a very different example because, they were investing in their product. Their products weren't that much cheaper. And yet they didn't kind of hit the mark there. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's not so easy all the time, to replicate. But no, it's an interesting one. And we talk about Gucci and Louis Vuitton. They obviously do the volumes, but would they do more volumes if their products were cheaper? Probably. But then they wouldn't be able to maintain the brand reputation they do. And
you say that. There's all these Instagram reels where people think they're marketing experts, and I need to be careful how I say that, because if you might watch me and think I'm pretending. But there's a lot of conversation about who Gucci, Louis Vuitton, who they target, right? And it's not necessarily wealthy people. It's people trying to look wealthy, which is a slight distinction, and it broadens their niche a little bit. We'll save this conversation for another time, but affordability versus price, how everything is becoming a monthly subscription and you can pay for it in small installments. So stuff like...
do you mean the buy now, pay later?
Buy now, pay later. Klarna are making people who can't necessarily, by some people's standards, afford Louis Vuitton. Suddenly they can-ish, paying it monthly, and they start to buy these things. But that's the thing. How much of their reputation is attached to their price? You say if they lower their price, would they get higher volumes?
Yeah,
I'd say maybe, but it's got to plateau at some point. Yeah, because some people would say, "Well, it's just cheap, so I'm not gonna."
It's the exclusivity. Yeah, that, almost pricing it as certain. Maybe they found their good price where volume and margins are there. Yeah, but any cheaper or any more expensive, and they start to lose that. It's interesting, but we definitely need to have that conversation on the whole affordability and priceability.
You brought it up on a drive, and I think we ended up both just ranting about it. We're on the same side, but just ranting about it.
It's interesting. I don't think enough people are ranting about it.
No,
I don't think.
No, I don't hear much.
I don't think enough people are complaining about the world where we are, where it seems that everyone wants to pay a subscription, and that's not a subscription for convenience, but for pure affordability. That at least this way I can spread my payments and live more paycheck to paycheck, which was one of the biggest issues pre-COVID that we had, where too many were relying on that.
And it's getting worse and worse. It's been, again, we'll save this for another time. Do you know BMW just released a feature unlock? Yeah, you know this. Yeah. They unlocked heated seating. You already have it, but you unlock it for £15 a month. And I've been watching this space for a long time, from cars to like housing and all of that stuff. And it's just becoming more and more mainstream, which is dangerous. And
I'll be honest though, there are benefits to that model. There are the idea of doing that. Because, rather than necessarily committing to a full extra, maybe you can try it out and see how you go. The issue here is it captures people from both sides of the camp. You've got from both camps. So you've got the people that simply want to try out features, maybe not keep them going, or maybe in the winter months you just want heated seats and then you want to shut them off. It's not from a necessarily affordability point of view. It's more, yes, actually I don't want to be forking out the upfront cost all the time. But then on the same token, you've got the camp of, this way at least I can have everything, but I can just spread my payments over. And unfortunately, such models encompass both, and it doesn't lead to financial responsibility.
Not even slightly.
Klarna is a big case, because when you go for a mortgage, you have to openly, or they're able to check what buy now pay later schemes you're on,
really,
and your active debts on there, and if you've had any bad debts. So and it's so easy, if you're on one of them and you're unable to afford it for a month, to fall into a bad debt with them. So it's something really to be careful of.
I'm actually this is terrible. I'm actually happy about that, because I told you about a recent Klarna purchase I made, where I had the money in a Monzo pot, but I didn't want to. I wanted to. I'm always looking for something to build my credit score. So I set it up, and I just set a direct debit to that Monzo pot. It was 0% interest, so it just paid it off. So, but I didn't know. I wasn't certain whether it would help me or not, and I was kind of curious. I wanted to see if Klarna. It was £300. I put it in the Monzo pot and 3 monthly payments of £100. And so
I think there's nothing wrong whilst interest rates are wherever they are. 0%, absolutely amazing. Do it. But they're not trying to encourage financial responsibility.
No. Do you think that? This is the thing. Do you think, on some level, they're encouraging financial irresponsibility? Because that's where it gets toxic. Monzo's whole thing is, they're rhyming, they're all rhyming. Can I buy my mum a posh tea, pay it off in 3? Do you think that's alluding to the fact that this person can't afford it right now, but he can still do this lovely thing for his mum and pay it off?
But it starts with a lovely gesture for your mum. And then what does it become? A lovely gesture. How many gestures for yourself? How many nice jumpers? How many nice suits? Whatever. And I don't know. Maybe very kind of like anti this Klarna and this whole buy now pay later thing, but it's causing a lot of issues.
I mean, it's interesting that we spoke about price. Ultimately, price has been quite a hot topic at the moment. With we're trying to model basically a loss leader pricing structure of like a lifetime value of a customer, and I find that very interesting. At how many outlets do this already? How big a player psychology is? We've talked about Costco putting high ticket items at the start and the cheaper stuff at the end, so that everything by the time you wade your way through. But there's also a place for that in terms of going cheaper but through a discount, because I know you're big on protecting a brand. We talked about Louis Vuitton and how if they go down in price, you've often, when speaking to clients, you're huge on preserving RRPs because of the weight attached to that.
So my kind of approach there is that, look, discounts are great, even for I'm not saying we don't deal with the Louis Vuittons.
No.
We deal with premium brands, right? Premium healthcare brands is our niche, and discounting or having offers is okay. The odd voucher, first offer, 20% off, 10% off, that's okay. But actually diminishing your price of your product, the retail price of your product, which is a huge thing on Amazon at the moment, where multiple sellers coming in, degrading your price, degrading
you said it right
the price.
First
time. I don't know.
Now I'm confused.
I don't know what's going on. But they're degrading a price, and they're seeing their actual retail price go down. So people are attributing that not to an offer, not quick, let me get this whilst it's in an offer, but Amazon's cheap, or this brand's cheap. This is now the same price as a cheaper brand. And I mean, you said it really well, where this just causes all kinds of upsets where the brand is no longer perceived as premium. So yeah, I'm very big on that. I think a lot of brands are underestimating how important that is, especially as we go into them needing to require the need to increase their prices because of the cost of goods going up, but they're unable to because consumers already deem them as cheap. Now they're suddenly pushing their products to £2 or £3. They're going above, and that's a difficult thing if you're not showing that you're premium.
I think we've covered some cool topics here. I'm going to wrap this up with a fun review. Don't look at my screen, okay? We have our recurring theme here. And I find it interesting. The last episode I interviewed Luke Tobin of Digital Ethos. And I thought that was a very serious episode, and I loved every second of that. You've started watching. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
No, I get round to things.
But those are my exploration ventures where I get to really pick at brains of very intelligent people and very serious conversation. With us too, it's some heavy conversations, but
there's zero intelligence here. Just a sprinkle of intelligence.
Sprinkle, but a lot of goofing around. So here again, I feel like I just look up reviews of stuff that I'm going to get for you in the future to help protect your marriage.
Okay.
And this one is noise cancelling headphones.
Okay.
Headline: Can't hear my husband anymore. The title says it all. Didn't hear him yelling for help whilst he flooded in the kitchen. I absolutely adore these headphones. My life has been so peaceful. Sound quality is great. They work fantastically for calls. Battery is wonderful. Can't fault them. So maybe not for you, but maybe for you.
I want to meet these reviewers.
There's hundreds of them. Hundreds of thousands. Can't tell you because they've blurred out the names. But they've given
555
5 stars.
555 people found it helpful as well.
555 wives are sick of their husband's crap. So maybe that's a year 5 gift for you.
Yeah, maybe.
No, for your fiance.
That's it. That's optimistic. No, I'm joking. It's just
but dude, thanks for this.
Thank you. All right, see you next time. Please do like, subscribe, comment, especially if you're the owner of Grenade. Year supply, 2 years supply. You're not cheap anymore, by the way. But we love listening. We're really glad that you were listening. Please also comment as to what else you want to hear, listen to, what you want us to talk about in future episodes. But see you next time.